Say it.
Yeah, good to go.
So, hello and welcome to Debate Cameroon. I'm Alenne, and my co-host for tonight is Alenne. Cameroon gained independence in 1960, and the Cameroon cinema started in 1962 with movies such as Jean-Paul Gassa's Aventure de France, which was featured in that same year. In 1970s, there were over 32 movie theaters, as we call them back then, cinemas in Cameroon, featuring movies made in Cameroon as well as international features. The Cameroon cinema or movie industry was mostly dominated then by French-speaking movies. Right up to early 2000, the industry, which was mostly supported by government funding, saw a steep decline in the late 80s and especially the 90s, mostly due to lack of funds, resulting in many cinemas being closed down across the country. And then came Nollywood, which changed the game of how cinema, especially commercial cinema, was viewed in Africa in general and Cameroon in particular. Cameroon joined the Wood fever and named its film industry Collywood in 2008. With the birth of Collywood, the Cameroon movie industry saw a rise in film production, especially English-speaking movies, as compared to the almost dormant 90s. The Cameroon movie industry, or Collywood, has had its glory days as well as some setbacks. Collywood has gained international recognition in recent times, with their movies being featured in many international film festivals, securing several nominations and winning several accolades at award ceremonies at home and abroad. For example, at the Golden Movie Award ceremony in Ghana June here, Nkanyakwa's A Good Time to Divorce picked up 6 awards, with Alenne Menget was one of our debaters right here, winning Best Actor for Drama. At the same time, we hear many Cameroonians complaining that they do not have access to Hollywood movies. All they see is one red carpet ceremony after the other, movie premieres and award ceremonies, but they never or seldom get access to movies. Which brings us to our debate topic of tonight: the Cameroon film industry, stagnant or growing? Omar?
Thank you for that intro, Mbole. That was wonderful. Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to another edition of the Big Debate. Like Mbole said, I'm Omar Bayen. Today we continue our series on the Cameroon entertainment industry with emphasis on movies. And joining us today to talk about that are 2 fine gentlemen, Mr. Harry Fon, also known as Quatorze, who is no stranger to our platform. Quatorze is a political strategist and an Oracle consultant based in Chicago in the United States. His opponent tonight is no other than Mr. Alenne Menget, award-winning actor and comedian based in Douala, Cameroon. For the purpose of this debate and to ease communication, we are going to, if that's okay with everybody, we are going to go on a first name basis. So I'm going to call you Quatorze, if you don't mind, and I'll call you Alenne, if that's okay. Are we all happy?
Sure thing.
Alenne, can you confirm if you're happy with that first name basis?
No, call me any name.
Okay, that's fine. So Mbole, you're going to tell our audience exactly how the debate is going to work. You're going to break it down, and then we'll go straight into it. Give them the rules so they know exactly what to expect.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you, gentlemen. We are very happy that you accepted the challenge to debate today. So our debate, we have certain rules and regulations. First of all, thank you for our audience. We are pleased begging you to respect the point of views of our debaters. The debate is here for entertainment and education. Entertainment and education. So please, the point of view of the debaters should be respected, as well as our debaters who are calling on you to respect each other. So far, the debate has boasted of participants who have always respected each other's point of view. So to our audience and to our debaters, we do not condone insults on our platform. Now, the debate has two parts. The first part is going to be questions. So each participant or each debater will have 5 minutes to present their point of view. 5 minutes to present their point of view. It's about what you believe in. After the 5 minutes, we will have 3 minutes for rebuttals. So you have 3 minutes to rebut what your opponent said. After this session, we'll have questions for both of you. These questions are questions that have come from us as well as from our audience, or from other people who were interested in this debate topic. You will have 2 minutes to answer these questions. So we are begging you guys to respect time. We have a time limit for the debate. We will be very strict today about time. After these questions, we'll go on a break. So each candidate will have 3 to 5 questions, depending. We will then go on a break. Then we'll come back to part 2 of our session, which is going to take ad hoc questions coming from the audience. So meaning, depending on what you're saying, we'll have our audience, our viewers, asking questions. We'll ask each candidate 2 to 3 questions from the audience, and then we'll go to the main core of the debate, which is suggestions. So the debate is not only about questioning the status quo, we are all about making things better. So we'll expect suggestions from both of you, how we're going to make the Cameroon film industry better than what it is today. Now, I have 3 cards. We have a green, we have a red, we have a yellow. We're going to do things a little bit different today. Usually, the host always interrupts the candidate, the debaters, to tell them how many times they have left. We have discovered this method is usually not the best because it distracts the debaters, and sometimes they kind of lose tracks to what they were saying. So when you start speaking, for example, in the first session, you have 5 minutes to present your point of view. When you start speaking, I will put up the green card. This is for you, Terence, Harry, and Allen. I will put up the green card. The green card means you are at the start, so you have all your time. When you are 1 minute to your 5 minutes, so if you have talked for 4 minutes, I will put up the red card, the yellow card, sorry. The yellow card means you have 1 minute, so you should start thinking of rounding up, of concluding. When you have 30 seconds to the end of your time, I will show you the red card. The red card means you have 30 seconds. If your time is up, I will put up the red card again. So Omar, when I put up the red card for the second time, you know you have to stop the debater. We really have to be strict on time, and don't be mad if we stop you. So please pay attention to the callers, okay? So that will be the rules for today. Now I'll hand over to Omar, who will start the questioning. The first person to go tonight is always the person who was on the positive, and that will be Allen. So Omar, over to you.
Thank you very much. Good evening and welcome again. Thank you very much for joining us. As a reminder, the topic of the debate is the Cameroon film industry. Is it stagnant or is it progressing or is it growing? You say it's progressing, it's growing. So you've got 5 minutes to make your arguments, Alenne. It's on you. Let's go.
Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I appreciate so much. And I think I should get straight by first correcting some few things. There's no Hollywood existing in Cameroon. It's not every industry in the world, a movie that's got a wood behind. I get that for a long time. Hollywood is a private industry owned by some people registered. It is called CFI, the Cameroon film industry. It's not like any wood. I mean, there is no rule that says that an industry should have wood behind. So there is no wood existing in Cameroon. If there is a Hollywood, I remember it's a private company like the ATS Productions and other production houses. Now, I'll tell you the reason why I want to stand on the positive, not because we're building successes on our names, but because of the fact that lots of things are happening these days that we have gone through tin and ton to make situations get better. Like she rightly said, we started the English part. I want to defend that part as well, because in Cameroon, you were divided into two, no matter what. The English-speaking part, they have their CFI. The French-speaking part has its own industry. And so I want to concentrate on that English-speaking one, which is the CFI. It is not stopping Francophones from joining, though, but it's predominantly Anglophone. It actually started, if you want to talk about English movies, in the 80s with Trial of Passion. And thereafter, we started with a lot of amateurism. And with lots of focus, we got into a situation where our own film industry, like the rest of the other film industries in the world, started with people who had totally gone out of their track and frustrated with other businesses and decided to try camera or testing. And the beginning was very difficult. And I think that's the reason why you people think that we're still at the beginning. But within the years, like I usually put it in PG, Fufu, we don't shift that, you can go under. Fufu remain, and I think we're one of the best in Africa now. I say this because of the quality of movies we produce. I keep telling people, if you got 5 good producers, you can get the best quality of movies. If you got 5 good actors and you use them. Yes, getting to the industry itself, I think we are marvelous. We're doing so good. Getting out of the industry, and I want to make sure that you understand what I'm talking about here. But the Cameroon stands on the level of quality of the movie and the production of the movie. I'll later on tell you the rest of the thing. Why I think we are the best is because out of the opportunities we've had in life, which is one of the best we have in Africa, from the cosmopolitan mentality we have here, Cameroon have a total different history from any other part of the world. More than 260 languages. Our stories do not resemble any other stories in the world. We have about 300 languages, more than 260 tribes. Our independent stories have not been written. We just started working on them. Our own political stories have not been written, but recently we started working on them. And the past, it was very difficult working on them. But we took our time and took the disadvantaged position to build what we have today. That is why you see us being recognized in every award ceremony in the world, because we have a sense of movie that has never been shot in the world. I'll tell you this, if you want to find out the last 20 movies that have been shot in this country, and you find out the amount of apples that the people or the jury, each time they're watching a Cameroonian movie, get to face, is because of the fact that's why we win, is because of the fact that they get to watch movies they have never been able to watch. If you want to compare us with people you call the giants of Africa, Nigeria, you realize they have a one story, leave a traditional doctor to a religious home and he goes out there. That's not how the Cameroonian movie works. That's our success. Our success stories are the fact that we have different societies and we're trying to work on different stories, and no story is rhyming at any level. Another important fact is that we have been able to create at least 6 movie directors. There could be 50 movie directors in Cameroon. We've been able to create at least 6 movie directors who know exactly what the actors. They didn't just learn it from school, but they found time to practice it a lot. And we're getting to the point that we know that we are coming from a lesser situation like Anglophone filmmakers. We're first of all a minority. We took it and we made sure that whatever we're putting out there should be the best. We got to the point that we're able to get at least 5 very talented female actresses and 5 very talented male actors. And with that, I think the boom of this industry started about 3 years ago, and it has the most concerned everybody in this Africa and Africa today wants to know what is happening to the Cameroonian industry. I'll still continue to tell you the reasons why I think we beat other people in movies, because of the fact that apart from Canada, we have bilingualism in this country, which is also inheritance of 2 different cultures, the English and the
Alenne,
French.
sorry to interrupt you. Sorry to interrupt you, Alenne. You should be rounding up. You should be rounding up now, please.
The French and the English. And so bilingualism has brought in 2 different cultures, the French and the English, that we are using these days on our opportunity, and we're using it positively. That's why you see some of our movies, some people speak French, some people speak English, and then we translate them. So it's not happening anywhere in the world. I'm sure Canada will be doing it, but I think that is a pure advantage that we have. I'm sorry I didn't see any green thing. I would have followed it up. So thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Alenne. Thank you for that. Thank you. That was clear enough. So, Treize, Quatorze, you say the Cameroon film industry is stagnant. You practically said it is non-existent. You've got 5 minutes to tell us why you feel that way. Go.
All right. Thank you again, the Big Debate, for this opportunity. Thank you, Alenne, for accepting the invitation. And I'll just delve into it. I was making some notes when Alenne was saying his optimistic presentation of the CFI, Cameroon film industry, and I honestly don't know. I know he's in the industry, but I don't know what reality he is in. I don't know his reality is different from us, the consumer's reality. Now, is the industry stagnant? That was the question, and I could not move that question to, does the industry exist? For the industry to be stagnant, it means the industry has to exist. And when I say the industry has to exist, it does not mean it's a collection of people that come together and give themselves a fancy name. Like he started and he was saying that it was not Callywood, it was not Camwood, it was not, there was so many different names because everybody was a little confused at the time. Maybe somehow another group of people have finally been able to register Cameroon film industry. So let's focus on that. An industry has a lot of moving parts. An industry has production, distribution, and of course, it has consumption. That's how you have to look at any film industry. You don't look at the industry solely on if the movie has a specific story, if that's how peculiar the story is. You look at the structure of the industry. Are they producers? Are they distributors? And finally, are we exiting that product to the end consumer? That's how industry is structured. So you create a product, which is in this case, we create a movie, create a film. The film goes through pre-production and then comes out through post-production. And then the distributors take it. But in Alenne's world, those 6 directors that he mentioned, and I'm happy that we have been able to have professionals. I'm actually applauding him for that. But those 6 directors, if you look at all of their movies, it would happen that they are the writers, they're the actors, they're the producers, they're the distributors, they're at every different phase of that movie that they did direct. And that's part of the problem. It's confusing. It's just not coherent. And so it's not stagnant. It is non-existent. So we should accept that there's a problem for us to be able to fix the problem, right? So we understand that it's a chaotic situation right now. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's go back to the industry and say, we have a beautiful story to tell. That's not where it ends. We have to tell that story, and the rest of the world gets to see that story. Alenne was able to win an award in Ghana for a movie that nobody has ever watched, but maybe the people that actually gave him the award, right? That's a movie that I so badly want to watch. I've not been opportune to watch this movie. So when somebody tells me that's the best movie, and then I'm like, okay, where can I watch this movie so that I give my input that it is the best movie, right? And it's only the people who are reviewing the movie that got to watch the movie. Now my issue is, how did they even get to watch the movie? How did they the institution that I have the name somewhere, the institution in Ghana that gave Alenne that award. How did they hear about this movie? Who told them about it? What kind of structure is in place to communicate that that this movie is in line to win an award, right? So Alenne, I was doing some little research on the person I was supposed to debate, and on one of his profile, he had won an award for a movie that he directed and produced in he co-wrote, I think he wrote it in London, and the award, I mean that's an insult of unbelievable proportion. And then I said he was.
Sorry, keep your eyes on Bore as well.
I'm seeing her. You'll give me back that 5 seconds. Thank you. Alenne said he was sleeping when a WhatsApp text came that, sir, you've been nominated for a movie. Can you believe being nominated for a movie and you're not even informed that you're being nominated for a movie and you actually get to win it? I question that kind of award. I don't question the movie, I question the award. And these are part of the problems in the industry that we need to fix before we can have an industry that is growing, before we can actually say this industry is befitting, before we pat ourselves on the shoulder and say we are the best. Cameroonians like to think of themselves as being the best without actually showing the substance of being the best. That does not take away from anything. You actually have to do the work and let other people tell you that you are the best. Don't tell yourself that you are the best. Put the work, let the results be seen. I want to watch Cameroonian industry. I'm a supporter of this industry, but for right now, I don't believe that the industry exists. I believe it's a collection of people that just put out movies randomly. Thank you.
All right, Treize, thank you very much for that. That was clear enough. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you, Alenne. Thank you, Treize. This phase of the debate, Alenne, you're going to have 3 minutes to give a counter response or a rebuttal to what Treize just said.
Before Alenne, please make sure you look at me, because the other time I raised the cards, but you said you didn't see it because you didn't look at me.
I don't even see your picture.
Oh, you don't see me?
I don't even see your picture. I see only Treize there. Who are those calling me? I don't see your picture, please. I see only Treize.
Do you see Omar?
Can you see me?
Go on, talk. I see only Treize.
Okay, then we will have to tell
right now, I'm not even doing too well. Somebody tried to call. Are you there? Do you hear me?
We hear you.
We can hear you clearly. Can you hear me, Alenne? Can you hear me?
Somebody tried to call me on WhatsApp. I barely hear you now. Please give me the earphone there. Get one earphone there and give me. Okay, should I go on if you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you clearly, Alenne. We can hear you, and I can see you too.
Can I go on now?
Oh my!
Yes, go on. Can you hear me?
The timing, yeah.
Treize, it's terrible. You're so ignorant about so many things here. I got to a point that I realized that you were instead talking more of Alenne Menget than CFI. Now, let me start with your ignorance from the last point. The award that I was nominated is not a Cameroonian award. It was a Nollywood award. I am best Nollywood actor. It was Nollywood. It has nothing to do with CFI. So you just decided to scatter Nigeria, not Cameroon. I'm sorry to tell you that. The award that happened in London has nothing to do with CFI. It's a Nollywood movie that I wrote for Nollywood producers, and they gave me best actor in Nollywood because I'm part of that. Let me tell you out there. Number 2, it's unfortunate I'm picking up a debate with somebody who does not realize that CFI has been registered since 10 years. And it's unfortunate I'm talking to somebody that we came with this same movie throughout the United States of America, A Good Time to Divorce, and we're trying to pull a launch, and you didn't appear just like other Cameroonians because you were waiting on a debate day. It was all over. Everywhere we left from my biggest store in the United States was to launch this movie because the producers are there in the United States, from Oklahoma to Dallas and the other places. You prefer going to the parties with coats to show your faces, to come back to Facebook to criticize. Then now you're making another error about producers. There is no producer in the Cameroonian film industry who is an actor. That's a big error. We have professional producers. Have you seen Musing Derek in a movie before? The producers or the directors are not actors. I am very sorry you don't know a lot of those things, and I feel bad about them. You sound typically a Cameroonian on negativity. And I think that you have brought in a very big point there that I would have supported you directly if you proved to me that you knew exactly what you were saying. We've gotten to a point that was step by step. We started ignorantly. We now started making good movies since 4 years, and we are trying to build marketing. And I have this information to give you. The marketers of the Cameroonian film industry and distributors are supposed to be you, Mr. Quatorze, not us. You're one of those Cameroonians who believe that a star like me should be moving with CDs on the road so that you come and insult me later on Facebook. You do not even give us the position as stars. You don't. That's why you're totally misinformed all the time. You want me to carry tapes like normal local artists. I am the actor. The best in Africa for Nollywood and the best in Africa by the Ghanaians. Then we have the best producers. What about you, the marketer? What about you, the distributor? We have built our own content in the CFR, and we have gigs. We have the producers' gigs. We have the actors' guild. We have the every guild. We even have the distribution guild. But we don't have money to build a distribution guild because we expect people who've got money like you, well dressed in that suit, to come and invest instead of going on the other side of the thing. We are in Africa. We don't even have that money. We have tried from pinhole cameras to build these movies. And give money into the United States, invite few people for almost nothing to come and watch these movies. You come today and say you wanted to watch A Good Time to Divorce. That was premiered in 4 empty halls in the United States, in the major cities where Cameroonians are living in. And the idea is to celebrate. It gets terrible when I get into a situation where I am talking wisely with some people I think should have gone to the position of helping. I know your personality. You've got the money to want to distribute this thing. But I know your problem. You don't trust it because of lack of information. And I'm giving you that information here. Hey, we are ready. If you watch the last movies within the past 4 years, you will put some money there. You don't expect me, the actor, after shooting the movie, to finally go again and start doing the distribution. We have struggled in this country to get distribution in this country. The Ghanaians prefer to buy our movies. That is why I'm celebrated at their airport.
Oh, my 3 minutes is over.
Why I'm celebrated in Lagos. Like Frunik's friend and small. That is why you don't even give me when you meet occasions. You look at me at that local John Menget's son.
Thank you, Alenne. You made your point. You made your point, Alenne.
Because of the personality.
Alenne, thank you very much.
That we suffer from. Nigerian movie industry.
Right. Alenne, thank you. Listen to me. Thank you very much.
You want me to stop because I'm not hearing anything from nobody?
Yes.
Yes, stop. Yes. Your 3 minutes are up.
Okay, just give me a few seconds and I'll be up, but let me try to get some earphones because immediately after we spoke, your sound went off.
Should I wait for him or I'm going to wait for him?
Wait for him. You don't have a choice right now. Wait for him.
Alenne talked for almost 4.5 minutes, so I think it will be fair for us to give Treize that much time as well.
All right. I know Treize is a little bit animated at the moment. Alenne, can you hear me?
He's still trying to set up his earpiece.
Say something, let me see if I hear you, please.
Alenne, can you hear me? Are we good?
Oh, God. Oh, yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
What did you say? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Alenne?
I'm happy I can hear you. I really wanted to hear you.
Okay. All right. So your 3 minutes are up. So, Treize, Quatorze.
Sorry, above 3 minutes because at that point I was not getting any feedback from you guys.
Yeah, you made your point. We heard you. We heard you clearly. For some reason, you could not hear us, but we heard everything you said.
Okay, thank you then.
Yeah, so Treize, Quatorze, now you're going to rebut what he said.
All right. So finally, we have a debate on our hands. I was very worried that Alenne was he was in this passive state of mind. I was really worried. So now he's energized, he's vibrant. Now he knows the character that's in front of him, and he's ready to push back and give punches where Alenne, you had your 3 minutes. Alenne, you had your 3 minutes. I know this is a Cameroonian thing to interrupt.
We'll get back to you.
We'll come back to you. 3 minutes, and I did not interrupt you, Mrs. Moderator. We want to put that on my tab. So, like I said, now he is ready to punch back, and I'm saying that the audience are going to have an interesting debate. Alenne, when you came to the US, I was actually emceeing an event. So when you came when you were being introduced to me, I was not going to be able to shout and scream and give you the due respects that you or do as an actor in Cameroon, because I was on stage also performing something. So it would have been unprofessional for me to act all crazy. And by the time I got up, I didn't see you to give your accolades and stuff. Now, do I expect you to be selling CDs on the streets of the markets? No, and that's why I said there's no industry. It is not your job to sell that. And if you had an industry, then you would not be worried about once you're done acting the movie. That's all. That's the part. All I want to see is your face as promoting the movie. I want to see you travel, talk about the movie, not selling it, so that we know what we're about to watch. And I'm one of the biggest supporters. I have promoted every platform that Cameroonians have for movie distribution. I have promoted every one of them. Now, you talked about the awards. Why I brought it, whether it was a Nollywood award or a Cameroon award or a Ghanaian award, why I try to link that, it was because of the disorganization. You should not be winning an award, be it in Nollywood, in Ghana or anything, without your express consent, without you knowing about it. And this is not an attack on you, Alenne. It's not that. It's just because you are in front of me so I can talk to you. But you are a member in this organization, and you said there's no distribution. Of course, that's why we have the problem. We not only a good time to divorce. A movie, like I said, that you red carpeted in Oklahoma, Maryland, Atlanta, and I think Dallas. 4 cities in the US that you did. I don't live in any of those cities, right? And if I shouldn't have to travel to Oklahoma just to go watch it. The people in that area, they're plenty enough to support. I can, but I should make a decision if I want to or if I don't want to. So, and once that movie premieres, the next thing is it should be released. So people like myself, people who could not make the premiere, even within that city, and this is of no fault of yours, but I'm saying it's part of the industry, that movie should be available. There are platforms across the world, from Cameroon to the US to London, across the world, where that movie can be released. So whether you're winning an award in Ghana or this, I cannot say this is the best movie ever because some Ghanaian person is telling me that. As a Cameroonian, I'm like, but I have not watched the movie. And this is the best celebrated actor I am opportune to debate against, who I have not. You've acted over 30 movies, Alenne. And again, this is not an attack on you. This is an attack on the industry. It's not an attack on you, and we should not mix the lines. So you've been in over 30 movies or more. You're a celebrity actor. Alenne, I have not. I have been on every platform. I have not been opportune to watch one of your movies. Now, I don't care who the producers are. I don't care who the directors are. All I care is Alenne is an actor. He's been revealed. He has won awards. I want to watch your movies. If I don't watch your movies, I don't necessarily have to become the distributor to then be able to watch the movie. I'm in the posture of a consumer. If a consumer cannot watch your movie, then as an actor, you're not giving an end product to that consumer. And that's what I'm saying. An industry should focus on one thing. An industry should focus on production, distribution, and delivery. That is all. I don't care if it's Alenne Menget. I don't care if it's Stephanie Toom. I don't care if it's Emade Cindy. That's not the purpose. These are our celebrity actors. We want to roll out the red carpet for you, but give us that opportunity to roll out that red carpet for you. City, and I hope down the line we're able to talk about A Man for the Weekend. That is
start rounding up.
One movie I want to put my money and watch, and I've not had that opportunity to watch. And you're going to tell me the platforms that are on. Like I said, Alenne, don't see this as an attack on you. It's just that you are in front of me, and I can have a conversation with you as a representative in sorts of the CFI. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Quatorze. Wow, that was animated. That was really, really animated.
So thank you, guys. Thank you very much. And Treize, you mentioned something that I'm happy you did that. This debate is not about an attack on a person. It is about an industry. So we should get that in mind, both of you and Alenne. So we're going to go on the second part of our debate, which we will be questioning both of you. And in this part, you will have 2 minutes to answer the questions. So this time around, 2 minutes. Are you both getting me?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
Yeah, can I say something before you continue out of all this?
Excuse me, Alenne, I didn't get you.
I'm just talking about the template of the debate. It gives the second speaker more. It gives the second speaker a lot of advantages. Well, that could be a template worked on later on. Let's go on, no problem. I'll know how to.
Are you complaining about the time? Is that the issue?
It's not the time. It's that usually when the first person talks, the second person asks. Let's just go on. No problem.
I don't want Alenne to feel cheated. I want him to have his time.
It's fine. Don't drag it. He said he's happy. So
nobody is feeling cheated. Alenne, you will have enough time in the question session. You can still choose to ignore a question and address anything you want to say. That is okay.
Thank you very much.
Good. So we will start this time around with Treize, Quatorze. So, Harry.
Yes.
Wow, you say the Cameroon film industry is non-existent. So, but are you aware that Cameroon is the founding father with Burkina Faso, Cote d'Ivoire, Niger, Senegal of the Pan-African Film Television Festival of Ouagadougou? FESPACO is the biggest and most prestigious film academy in Africa, which brings together filmmakers from across the continent and enables them to showcase their work. Cameroon films are showcased every year at FESPACO. So what do you do? What do you say when you mean the industry is non-existent? Get in mind or put in mind that recently, the Cameroon film industry, or a few months ago, the likes of Alenne and Kanya Kwai, amongst others from Cameroon film industry, have won multiple prestigious awards for best actors and movies, not only in Cameroon, but in Africa at large. So how can you say with this evidence that the industry is non-existent?
All right, so like I said again earlier on, and I don't know if it was missed, but an industry's sole purpose exists to produce, distribute, and consume, right? So you have to produce. I'm not worried about the awards. These are accolades that the actors benefit. It is. I'll be happy if my fellow countryman or fellow countrywoman wins an award, Golden Globe award, any kind of award, MTV award. We are happy. But that's not what we measure when we look at a film industry. We don't measure the amount of awards that come out of that industry. We don't measure Nollywood because the actors are winning awards. We don't measure the Ghanaian film industry because the actors and actresses are winning awards. We measure an industry on the product that comes out. How many movies a year does the Cameroonian industry produce? How many of those movies are being watched? How many of those have a 3.5 star and above rating? How many people are longing to watch a Cameroonian movie in the comfort of their house? That is how you should measure an industry, not the awards that individual actors and actresses get to themselves. When I look at an industry, I look at the end product. Did they make 1,000 movies that year? Did they make 500 movies? Did they make 100 movies? Are all of these movies available to be watched around the world, not only by Cameroonians, by Nigerians, across Africa? Like he said earlier, Cameroon has this uniqueness about the French and the English. We could have a bilingual movie. Do we have those movies available for the consumer to watch? That should be our sole focus on how we evaluate whether an industry exists, not who is winning an award, not who is being celebrated where. Those are after effects.
Okay.
Thank you. Your 2 minutes is over. So the next question from one of the big debate viewers, to you, Treize, as well. The movie industry is still in its fatal stages. In order for any baby industry to progress, it requires the support of its fans and audience, even in difficult circumstances. Support to propel such an industry is never garnered through constant criticisms, banter, and denigration, but moral and financial support is usually warranted. Do you think, in your honest opinion, that Cameroonians provide financial support to boost the industry or subscribe to streaming services such as Atalaku to show their support?
Good question. Good question. Now, I'm a subscriber to 2 Cameroonian streaming websites. I have Sango TV that I pay every month. I have watched almost every movie on there. I have subscribed on CNE Well. It has 2 movies on there, Victimize and Kiss of Death. I've watched both movies. So again, I can only go to platforms that are available to me, and I pay. I don't do bootlegs. When it comes to Cameroonian movies, I don't even want to watch free movies, and they're not even up to 20 free movies on YouTube like every other country. So everything is paid. And again, it's only in Cameroon that if you tell somebody that what you're doing is wrong, they see it as negativity, banter, you bringing down the industry. No, I am calling your weaknesses out so that you are able to work harder, so that you are able to be better. You understand? I cannot value a Ghanaian that comes and tells me that, oh, this movie was rated best movie. Where did you watch that movie at? Where did you see this movie for you to rate it best movie? And after rating it, where can I see it like you to have the same opinion? So no, I am not being hard on the Cameroonian industry. I am not being negative on the Cameroonian industry, on the Cameroonian movie industry. I'm being honest. I want to see the best because in my heart, I love my country. I love this industry. I love the success, but I'm not going to accept mediocrity as part of me. I'm not going to accept any form of, oh, would he try, or would he manage, understand we know. That's not who I am. I want the best and only the best.
Right. The question was, do you think Cameroonians are supporting enough? It's not about you.
I cannot speak for all Cameroonians. I can speak for myself. I support enough. And that's why I said I subscribe. And I have pushed on my platform for people to go support. You understand me? I have put, but to support is not, it shouldn't be a force. It shouldn't be forced upon you. It should, the quality of the product would make the consumer come consume the product. Being forced, I've watched some really downright terrible movies.
Thank you, Harry. So, Alenne, do you have anything to say towards Harry? Yeah. So go on and
First of all, you should realize that he's not talking on behalf of all Cameroonians. He just made that statement, meaning that if we lose here, he's talking on behalf of himself. He said that a lot of times. He also contradicted himself so many times that he never watched a Cameroon movie. And unfortunately, and he watched Kiss of Death. Now, there is no channel you can broadcast, but there are 2 streamings that he pays monthly. So I don't know where he's coming from. So I thought he never knew about those streamings, so he knows them. Watches them. I thought you never knew now. Now, let me tell you something, or let you know some other places you can watch our movies. I was coming in turns, and I wanted to let you know it from the beginning how we struggled to get to the point that we now are successful distributors. Despite the fact that you abandoned us to ourselves, we, the filmmakers, have looked on possibilities to work things out. I know it's been a long time you may have traveled in Air France. We now have our movies in the flights of Air France. We now have our movies in the flights of the Belgian Airlines. If you want to, through my initiative, we have created our own channel. It's called My Movie TV. 70% of Cameroonian movies. It's 3 months old. It's almost everywhere. And we are sending it throughout Africa on satellite. It is in every country, apart from the northern part of Africa, a few Maghreb countries. I was shocked when you even told me that you know that there is an existence of a Sango TV, which broadcasts only Cameroon movies. And I'll also inform you that Orange Cameroon has now built a platform to show Cameroon movies that you can do on pay-per-view. There is Welcome that you can do on pay-per-view. It's right in my house here. I pay monthly and I watch Cameroon movies and money goes back to the actors. And if you want to know, like I put it on the platform yesterday when we're talking, it's Baba Do. All the way from MTN now with 350 fans to watch a Cameroonian movie which is changed daily. And it shouldn't only be Cameroonians to build these things. They are Cameroonian movies in Iroko TV. That is why we are celebrated in Nigeria. That is why when I pass through Uganda, everybody is rushing towards me. But the fact is that we have refused to watch it. And movies an international thing. We don't know if Cameroonians don't want to consume us. Like, Cameroonians never consume Cameroonian products, not only in movies. The rest of the world is accepting us. So if you do not accept us, I am very happy and I'm taking this thing home. So if we lose this debate, ladies and gentlemen, let us understand that our opponent has openly spoken that he is talking for himself. He has not gathered information from the rest of the other people to find out if they watch. So he is the one who is ignorant, because I know that lots of you that are watching know exactly what I have said. And you may have been watching Joker TV and the rest of that.
Okay, Alenne, thank you. That was clear enough.
I have a correction that I need to make on here.
No, hold on. Test that off. We'll come back to you later.
Okay.
I've got a question for Alenne, and as a matter of fact, one of the questions I had for Alenne was a question a lot of people are asking, where we could watch Cameroonian movies. Alenne, can you hear me clear enough?
I can hear you, please.
Yeah, so you've touched on that already. So I'm going to move on straight away.
9 different places, yes.
Sorry, say that again.
9 different avenues you could watch Cameroonian movies. All of them are new. I told you that we just build our films. For the past 4 years, we've gone professional, and it is time for distribution. We are very fast on it. So I gave you 9 different places to watch Cameroonian movies.
Yes. That's why I said I'm glad you touched on that, because that's a question a lot of people were asking. Right. So I have a question for you, Alenne. We all know that movie production, acting, shooting, directing is a tedious job. Oftentimes it's like a full-time job. I'm sure, correct me if I'm wrong, it's practically a full-time job. So from your own personal experience, do you think the state of the Cameroon film industry is at a point where you can comfortably live of making movies, making films? Because I'm talking to you personally now. You are a household name in Cameroon, in particular, and Africa in general, with all these awards and all that. So do you think you can live comfortably on film? And what advice do you have to the young up-and-coming actors who decide to go down this route as well? Can you live comfortably on that? That's my question.
I should inform you that movie has a lot of ways of making money. Now, if you want to depend on the pay that's coming on movies, you will not live comfortably. Even in Nigeria, that's paid well. No, but if you some few people will to your brand, and you can have 1,000 fans, you become a hero. Now you live very comfortably, because there are many things you would have to enjoy from fans and the publicity you do, the fact that they need to use. So yes, we are getting to that point. Right now, I would not advise any person to go and say, I am an actor in Cameroon and full-time actor. Yes, you could be doing it something alongside it. In a few years ago, totally different. But right now, the pay has added. Yes. I mean, we can't get paid to call ourselves celebrities. For those very hard-working filmmakers who have experienced the avenues, yes, you can be very rich. You should look at me and do movies, and I am not poor. Yes, you can be rich. You need to be smart and realize that that money is not supposed to come from the business you do. You're supposed to make money from the popularity, the positive popularity that you make. Becoming jobs. Yes.
We can't hear Allen. Are you? Can you get Allen? Alenne?
Alenne, are you still with us? Are you still there?
Alenne, speak into your microphone. Speak into it. We cannot hear you.
Yeah, speak into your microphone, please.
Do you hear me now?
It's fading out. It comes in and goes out. So it's the mic.
I realize I'm talking from Cameroon. Our network is not the best. Do you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you, but you fade out and come back in. So
do you hear me now?
I can hear you clearly. Yes. I heard you. I heard what you said. Yes.
Should I take the question from the start?
No, I heard you, but you were breaking up towards the end. But your message was clear enough. We got you.
Thank you.
I think if you lean in like that, it's good because we can hear you. But when you keep leaning back, you go away from the mic.
Yes, Alenne, before we move over to Quatorze, there's just one little point I would like you to clarify, please. You said the industry in Cameroon is called the Cameroon Film Industry, the CFI. And there's been talk on social media amongst many people, and I've actually seen somewhere as well talk of the Cameroon movie, the Cameroon International Film Festival, I think CAMIF. So I'm a little bit ignorant on that. So what's the difference between CFI and CAMIF? Is it the same thing? Because people are kind of confused where to pay allegiance to.
First of all, I would advise you not to get social media talks. Then I'll give you an answer. Cameroon film industry is the film industry, the body that runs Cameroon movies. Then it's a festival.
Right, the festival.
Movies run by Agbo Gilbert. Now, it's a festival like you have a Grand Noir, like you have what is happening in Burkina Faso. It's a festival that supports the Cameroon movie industry, that supports the Nollywood industry, that supports the Bollywood industry. It's an international festival, and it is not CFI. The umbrella body that runs Cameroon film is the CFI. CAMIF is a festival like any other international festival that brings international actors and movie makers together to award them all to share knowledge.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Thank you. Thank you. That's clear enough. It makes a lot of sense. Quatorze, have you got any reports out to what he said?
Oh yeah, Elion, of course. Now, Alenne, let's make a few corrections here. I said I don't.
Please, talk. 1 second. I don't know. What is the session now? I had 2 questions. He had 2 questions. What session are we in now? I would like to know so that I do not later on get cheated.
We're asking you questions.
I say he interacts instead of the other way or both ways because he's got 2. I've got 2. What session are we into right now?
We are the question, Alenne. He was asked 2 questions and you had the chance to answer to what he said, what he answered in his questions. Now you were asked your questions. He also has the opportunity to say something about the answers you gave.
From the beginning, if you calculate it well, he has 3 sessions. I answer. He answers me. That's a double session, and I have 1.
When did he answer you, Alenne?
He answered me now. He spoke.
No, he was trying to answer you. He was trying to answer you. Then I stopped him. I stopped him when he was trying to answer you because I was.
You gave him 2 questions. He answered the 2 questions, right?
Right.
Yes.
Questions you gave it to me.
No, but before.
Can we make this thing easy? Okay, can you give him another question just so we are on the same page?
No, listen. No. We have to be fair.
Hold on. You will not tell us how it works. We'll tell you how it works.
Before
I just want to right now.
Alenne, can you please listen to me?
Yes,
Before Omar asked you questions, do you remember you were given the opportunity to answer, to give your opinion to 13, 14 answers to his questions? Do you remember that part? That you talked?
Not get it because there were no questions. You asked him questions and he answered. It's not like he asked questions.
Yeah, we asked him questions and now Omar asks you questions. So what is your problem? We don't get you.
I'm getting to say that you asked him questions. I may be ignorant, please, but correct me. You asked him questions, he answered.
Right.
So what are we into right now? That's it. I want to know what we are into right now. What session? Because from the beginning you distributed the sessions. What session are we getting into now?
We
interacting
are question and answer session.
All right, thank you. Let's get along.
Okay, Alenne.
Yes,
no,
please.
Treize was supposed to give his opinion.
Quatorze is going to to give a rebuttal to what you said. The question I asked you, the answer you gave, he's going to say something about that.
Right. Which means you understand it very well. You didn't give me an opportunity to say things about what he said.
We did.
You instead asked me questions.
You did.
No, you instead asked my own two questions.
Look, can we go ahead? Can we go ahead? Alenne, we did. And when you watch this debate after the session, you will realize that we did. And I hope you're going to apologize to the big debate team. So, Treize, go ahead.
Are we settled? Are we settled? Can we proceed?
Yeah, we're settled. Go ahead.
All right. So this is a display, or this reminds me of like Francophones will have it the hold up electoral where we saw at the Constitutional Council. Alenne is feeling like his vote did not count. Alenne, point of corrections here. I said your movies, our superstar, our celebrities. You've acted over 30 movies. They're not platforms. I don't live in Cameroon, so Yabadoo and Orange and all those platforms don't stream in the countries that I live in. And the platforms that I actually gave you and listed to you, I went out and looked for this platform. I went into people. I asked, where can I watch your movies? I've actually had fights with people because I'm asking them, you're an actor, you don't have a movie, where can I watch your movie? It is not my job to be looking for your movie. It is my job to sit in the comfort of my home and turn on my TV and watch your movie. That is how I support you, right? So when I said those movies, it was your movies, not and you listed a good time, a man for the weekend flying on, being displayed on Air France and Brussels Airways. Achievements. I applaud those achievements. But how many people travel? What is your traffic? Alenne, do you ever sit back and look at the numbers? There are 25 million Cameroonians. Population, 25 million Cameroonians. What is the population of people that watch Cameroonian movies locally? I did a statistics on Sango TV. Only 100+ people have downloaded the app. Maybe they don't know about it, and you cannot blame people for not knowing about it. Yabadoo, the MTN app, over 100,000 people. If you look at only Anglophones, who constitute between 4.5 to about 8 million Cameroonians out of the 25 million Cameroonians, that is an insignificant number. 100,000 MTN users, English-speaking users, it's highly insignificant. That is why you cannot make a living off of that kind of number. So, Alenne, like I said, right? The issue is bigger than people are celebrating me in Ghana. People are celebrating me in Nigeria. People are celebrating me in Uganda. I want your success. I also want to enjoy your movie. I want you to be able to be part of an industry that produces, distributes, and gives me, the end consumer, a befitting movie to watch. You think you could do that for me?
Thank you, Treize, Quatorze. Thank you. So, gentlemen, Omar, do you have any more questions to both of them?
I have one question.
Still coming to say that 2 times, and if you finally discover that, you drop the apology to me instead. Thank you.
I have a question for. Sorry, Alenne, I lost you there. Say that again.
I was trying to say that if you find out right now we're going for another session, he spoke 3 times this last session, and I spoke 2 times. If you're the one who discovers the fault, I'm also willing to pick up the apology.
Sure, you will get the apology, Alenne.
You definitely will.
Does he want to rebut? Does he want to say something about what I just said?
No. Let Omar. Omar has a question.
Teach me now.
Omar, go ahead with your question, please.
Alenne, can you hear me? Yes. I just want you to clarify something. Do you think, as a stakeholder in the Cameroon film industry, do you think that the Francophone regions of the country are fully engaged in what you guys are doing? Because it seems to be an all Anglophone affair. So how engaged do you think the Francophone side of the country is as far as filmmaking in Cameroon is concerned?
All right, thank you. Very interesting question. Before I get to your question,
let me just finish. Say you're traveling from Alenne, you're traveling from Buya to Douala, and we get into Bikoko, and there's a billboard of Alenne, the best actor in Africa. Do you think a francophone traveling in the same bus as you will look around and say, "Oh yeah, another place, another guy"?
Today, that's exactly what it is today. In the past, it wasn't that way, but today, that's exactly what happens. Now, I'll first of all need to talk to my brother the other way that please don't use the word support again on us. It's a message I'm going to bring to you. You're not supporting me. You're paying to enjoy what we put. That's the American ideology. Always thinking that what you pay to enjoy is called support. You're not supporting me. I put a lot of energy to make you laugh in comedy. And if you want to know for the following, I have 3 million people watching movies. I'll show you the proofs. Short comedies. I know it's extremely if you want to find out. So please, you're not supporting me. You're paying to enjoy yourself after the crazy stress of the United States. If you have to
Okay.
Alenne, your microphone. We're not getting you.
Adjust your mic.
Oh, I don't know. My microphone is on.
So can you repeat what you just said? We didn't get that.
You there now?
Yes.
I am trying to tell my brother that way that he should never use the word support, please, on any filmmaker again, because he is not supporting us. He is paying to enjoy what we produce. If you can't get food from McDonald's, you're not supporting McDonald's. You're paying for services. You're paying for jobs, lots of hours. There's a crazy mentality in Cameroon. Each time he gets to show business, you enjoy comedy. After a stressful American day, you turn around and I just went to support him. You're not supporting me. I'm paid to enjoy. Please don't use the word support again. We'll be very grateful if you upgrade us in the industry and use the right words, like you pay for service.
Yeah, but that's the same thing. That's the same thing. Almost everyone in the music industry, in the film industry, they keep using that word. I didn't come up with that. They use the word. Cameroonians don't support us. They don't support us. So today you are telling us not to use that word support.
Especially on my personal case. Especially on my personal case.
Okay.
Yes. And he was talking about putting food on the table. I think we are rich. Now, I wonder why I will be rushing through a debate with somebody who says an industry is non-existent, but it's taken a lot of time to find plenty of research and statistics and numbers on something that is not existent. Yeah, my face looks like I'm. Yes, I want to find out the amount of energy here might be wasted. Are you getting me? Because my face is still. Are you getting me?
Yes, I can hear you. We can hear you. Yes.
It's difficult to keep up a debate with a brother who says an industry is so stagnant, but he has so much statistics about a stagnant industry until he gives us figures. Some of the figures are not correct figures. It's so embarrassing to find out that he wants to relate the United States. I am not in Cameroon. I cannot watch on MTN. I cannot watch on. Yes, that's the reason why we created the apps. That's the reason why the money in single TV. You should not watch all. Okay, choose one and watch.
Thank you. I think you have spoken enough. And
okay.
Yeah, and personally, I don't think it's an embarrassment because he actually gave his reasons why he thinks the industry is non-existent. So now we will go on.
When I say embarrassment, it's like I expect him to know. Are we moderating here, or are we taking sides on this debate?
I am not taking sides. I am just being fair. I said his reason. Alenne, can we now we'll go on a break?
Alenne, let's take a breather. Alenne, let's take a breather. Let's take a breather.
Break. Okay.
Yes. We'll take a short break. Take a breather.
Get a glass of water.
Get a glass of water. Get a breather, and then we'll be back.
And then we'll come back with questions from our audience. So please, viewers, send us your questions. We'll be back in 5 minutes. Thank you.
Hope Alenne gets back.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, I think he just disconnected. If my technical staff, Dr. Treize, can hear me, get working. Let's get Alenne back on, please. Right, I think he's coming back. Alenne, get some water. Take a breather. We'll be right back.
And I thought you got mad and left.
There's some in my place.
When you change the placement, you didn't know about it.
No, you don't. Did you bring? Is that
Oh no, the one that I took is the one that you just was.
I've seen one in my bag.
Which one?
Yeah, yeah. The one I this is the place where I came.
Yeah.
No, you go ahead, go ahead. See?
I'm almost full already. Feature in the debate.
That's the thing. No, pay a chair so. Pay a chair so. Move, man. Try a chair properly.
Are we seeing?
Okay.
And then they don't disappear again.
Right.
Okay.
Go on. Go ahead.
So welcome back to the second session of the big debate. So like I mentioned earlier, on this session, we're going to have questions that came in from the audience ad hoc. And after we get those questions, in this part, Alenne, I want you to pay attention. It depends on what the audience asks. The audience might ask you more questions than they ask Treize, or they can ask Treize more questions than they ask you. Now it's about the audience. It's not about us or about you or about rules. Okay? So the first question is from Terence Agbo, and he asked, How does one become an actor? This question is for you, Alenne. How does one become an actor in the Cameroon movie industry? How do you do selection? Do you carry out auditions? How do you select actors for movies? Alenne? Hello?
Alenne.
Alenne?
Somebody get him some water. Alenne.
I don't think he can hear us.
Okay, let's try to get him back in.
We lost him.
So please, viewers, just give us a few seconds, a few minutes to try to get Alenne back. He is joining us from Cameroon, so we know sometimes the network is not very reliable. So please just give us a few minutes to get him back online. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. Do you hear
Yes,
us?
we can hear you now. Can you hear us? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Go ahead.
Alenne, can
Hello?
you hear us? Can you hear us? Alenne? You can't hear us. Can you see us? Do you see me?
He can't hear you, so he can't even answer that.
Price, can you talk to him if he can hear you?
Alenne, can you hear me? I don't think he can hear me either. Alenne may need to. He may need to just turn off his phone and get back in and take a second.
Right. Hold on. Let me try and sort this out.
Hello, do you hear me?
Good. We hear you. Do you hear us?
Can you hear us? We can hear you clearly.
Everything is just still the other way, please.
But can you hear us? Maybe you should turn off your phone and turn it back on.
I think that's a problem. Let me send a chat. Can you send a chat to him to turn off his phone?
Send it, send it.
Please just bear with us. Thank you.
Cameroonian network, people.
It's not, I don't think it's a network per se, it's the phone. When you're using your phone, you have a lot of dramas with your phone. That's why we insisted and we told him severally to use a laptop.
So we hope our viewers have been enjoying the show so far. Both candidates have been amazing. I've learned a lot about the existent Cameroon movie industry and the non-existent Cameroon movie industry. So far, I think it's a draw. Won't you think? Although Alenne thinks we're disfavoring him, we're not fair to him. But I think it's a draw.
Right. But Treize, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Mbole, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. The situation is Alenne has turned off his phone, and he's going to restart his phone, and he's going to restart the apps as well. So hopefully it's going to work then. So bear with us, please.
So while we're waiting on Allen, let's just do a little bit of entertainment here. So Treize, tell us, what movies have you been watching so far in the Cameroon movie industry? I haven't watched any Cameroon movie.
Like I said, and the whole premise is that they have some good movies. I watched My Image, or is it Their Image? It's a short movie about a girl.
1 second, please, the viewers. This has nothing to do with the contestants and the debate. This is just
conversation,
for information, conversation purpose. Yeah.
Right. So I watched I recently just watched My Image. I think it's Their Image or My Image. It's a girl who is wrestling with domestic violence from her significant other, and she's wrestling with her image. It's a beautiful movie. The story is probably well written, and it's a short movie, like Sankara's movie that he put out a few weeks ago. So it's a nice movie. I would encourage a lot of people to go out there and watch that movie. It's a good movie. I've also watched Victimized. It's a movie that was acted here in the U.S. Again, it's got its. Yes, the story is there, but the acting is, it's okay. If I have to say that, I watched Kiss of Death, another story of where you marry off a little girl. It's a beautiful story. The acting, I guess, I don't know how far back they did this movie. 2004. Maybe the quality is not as the same today as it would have been, but it's a good movie. I think Edith Kifwa, she won an award for that movie. And this is, I guess you said this is not about the debate. So there are movies, if you go to Sango TV, and it's really affordable. And this is for me one of the best platforms for those in the diaspora, because it is one affordable. It streams, it doesn't have problems. It has maybe 12, 13, 14 movies on there. Again, it's a baby platform. He started this a few months ago, and I guess it can grow. I guess there's an opportunity to grow for it. Like I said,
how much do the movies cost in this platform?
It's a monthly subscription, like you have Netflix. I think it's $4 or $5 a month, like you do iRoco, right? And so it's not. And that is the objective, right? To get something that's affordable for people to be able to watch. So the other ones, for us here, I don't know about Europe, but for us here in the US, we don't have. I can't connect to a MTV network to watch a movie. And apparently, there are more movies on that platform than there are on Sango TV. And I'm hoping that producers who are on here watching this debate can connect with the owner of Sango TV, be able to put out their content out there, because we need all the content that are out. There's so many movies in America that are just trailers. 5 years later, you don't get to watch the movie, and you cannot say nothing because you're branded as the hater. You just have to suck it up, So I'm done sucking it up. I'm calling it out, and we need to do something about it.
Talking about Sankara's movie, have you watched it?
Yeah, like I said, if you put out a Cameroonian movie and you tell me where that movie is showing, I would go watch it. And as soon as I watch it, I would talk about it. Sankara's movie, I watched it on Amazon Prime, and it's a feature that I need to applaud him to be able to post a movie on Amazon Prime. That is something that we need to encourage more Cameroonians to do. Put your content out there and let people pay for it. Let us know that's out there. Now, the movie in itself, the substance, I don't know what it was about. The storyline was very weak. You could get people to play pool. If you want to play pool, do a movie for guys that play pool so that we enjoy the pool scene. If you want to talk to a girl, it was the quality, the video was good. but the storyline was very weak. It was a very weak storyline. And Sankara is my boy. I just think he should put more effort into writing. He should have a story. I need a story. I'm not more focused as a consumer. I'm not watching a movie to see that, oh my God, they used a specific kind of camera. That's not my strength. My strength is, did I enjoy the story behind the movie? So we had a big argument on the pre-debate platform about the game. It's on Amazon Prime. You can watch it for $2.99. That's not bad. That is actually not bad. $2.99. You could go stream that movie live and get an opinion for yourself. Maybe I'm
well, I actually did, but it's not featured on Amazon Prime Germany, and I actually talked about this with Sankara even way before that debate. And apparently, if you have to feature your movie in a foreign country or a country that the language is foreign to your movie, you have to do subtitles.
Oh, okay.
So you have to do German subtitles for it to be featured in Germany or any other foreign-speaking country apart of English.
Oh, okay, okay. So that is something that he needs to get working on, and he cannot sit back and say, "Oh, it's already." He needs to get into every market possible, and those are some of the criticism I have for the industry, that we rest our laureate once we say the movie is in Air France. It's like we've achieved a height. I think we've achieved something, and we need to keep going. That is one win. We need to have a series of other wins, right? So we just need to keep winning and winning. We cannot settle. This is not an industry where you get to settle. This is not an industry where you get to be like, I have won everything that there is to win, and I can just rest.
Well, I don't want us to go very much into the debate conversation, but you mentioned something that I found interesting. You said for you, watching a movie is about the story and you don't care. But you know, I'm different. I really do not care much about the story. I look at all those other little things. I look at the acting, I look at the camera, I look at the sound. You know, those are the things that actually interest, and that's why I love cinema more than, you know, Broadway or big time Hollywood. I prefer to watch, you know, these movies that really concentrate on the art, and not just.
But you because you don't know the different cameras that are being used, right? So it's hard.
All right, hold on. I think Alenne is back. Alenne, can you hear me?
I've been here. I heard everything about Sankara's movie. I heard that he has a weak storyline. I heard everything. I know how it costs. It's $2. How many cents? I've been watching.
Okay, good. Good to have you back.
Good. That's good. Good to have you back. So,
dear viewers, let's go on with our topic. We're happy Alenne is back with us, and we were at the session where we're getting questions from the audience. So Alenne, I was asking you a question. This question was from Dr. Terence Agbo, and he asked, how does one become an actor in Cameroon? How do you carry out your selection?
Yeah, good question. First of all, I should tell all viewers there that this is the way I talk here. This is the way I talk. For those of you who know me, I'm always on the punch. Now, getting it's call for auditions. It's some movies, a family thing. A producer could decide to call, but the great movies I'm talking about here, those movies I told you we've been doing since 4 years. There's a call for auditions. Usually, members who are registered to the CFI have information about that, and when the auditions are done, then the movie is done. Sometimes our producers and writers look at a particular character and write a story linking to what they consider talents in that particular character, and link other characters that could participate in that movie with their own talents. Yeah, so there is no school here for movies. And we are working on pure talents. It's just like everywhere in the world. Majority of what happens is in movies is what comes out from true talent. People discover people daily, and like I keep saying, check it, fufu remain for up. Remain for up. So the good ones finally are selected, and once we identify the good ones, they finally start getting lots of roles.
So basically, the advertisement for call for actors is done mainly on the CFI webpage?
No. It's done on TV with the My Movie 2 we have now. It's always on the social media.
Okay, thank you. The second question to you, Alenne, is from, just give me 1 second, let me get that. It's from Stephanie Toom. She asks, most of your movies are in English. In Cameroon, the French market is bigger. Are there any efforts to translate movies to French?
Yeah, that's a very wonderful question. And as I told you, I lead the BT Media. And for 2 months, we've bought practically almost every Cameroon English movie. And we have now set up a dubbing studio. And we're dubbing all English movies into French. And that's the reason why if you watch on your TVs today in Africa, well, most of the African countries, there's a sign there that My Movie French is going to be Cameroonian movies that have been translated into French in our dubbing studios. We are launching that on the 14th of January because we realize that My Movie English is already doing well. We practically have bought almost every English movie in Cameroon. We have taken permission from them now to translate and do the voiceovers into French. We have built a studio here in Bonamusadi, and the dubbing has been done. We will launch with the first series of movies, especially those, I can tell you, Agbo Gilbert movies. Some people take a long time to give permissions. Agbo Gilbert has given us his permission, so his movies will be on top of the charts from the 14th of January. You will not just see the logo. For now, the logo is going on My Movie French, and we have lots of Francophone actors there that are coming on showcase and interviews. But from the 14th, you'll be watching English movies that have been dubbed into the French language on My Movie French.
Another question. We have seen in current times a lot of Cameroonian movies being premiered, even in cinemas across Cameroon. Why are these movies not showcased in cinemas so people can go to the cinema and pay and watch these movies, but you only have them online? And especially in Cameroon where the internet is not very reliable. That is not
The point still comes to us. I know I'm not one of those people that send you people to the diaspora. I know you're looking for a means to want to link back to us. That's why sometimes you get angry because you really want to enjoy what we're doing. I really understand your frustrations. But for your information, we now have cinemas in Cameroon, Douala, and Yaoundé. Even one at the university built by Bolloré, 300 seats, and they show Cameroonian movies inside there. Now, it could be an initiative for some of you there in the United States. We are actors. You rightly heard when my debate, my brother on the other side said we are poor. We have tried even to create these TVs. Now, some of these rich people out there, you can now get some of the rights of these movies and do it on the whole in the United States. That's the error that a lot of people make. We filmmakers are not supposed to be the ones to own cinemas. It's Cameroonians. It's another business person to do it. But right now in Cameroon, we are lucky to have 3 huge cinemas in the main cities of Cameroon where they show Cameroonian movies. After the premieres, they still buy the rights of the movies and they show them. It's not only there. Bolloré has a set of these TV stations around in Africa, in Congo, and the rest. They take some of these movies, and once they buy it, they have the right to show it anywhere in Africa. Secondly, with the new innovation that we are doing now at the BT Media, which we are translating these movies into French, we are going to have a future market in the Francophone part of Africa where most of these cinemas are based. I wished one of us owned a cinema. It will be easy to get there. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alenne. And the last question I have for you, customer service is fundamental in today's business. Does your industry or organization have a customer service where you can get feedback from your consumers apart from social media, which is usually characterized by hypocrisy?
I should be frank with you. We've not, which I should tell you, it's our culture. Cameroonians abroad don't have a customer service mentality. Cameroonians here, we are cursed on that. So it's not just the Cameroon film industry. We have this superiority complex where the buyer is a super king. And so just like other things, just like other companies in Cameroon, our customer service is a Cameroonian customer service. But we are planning on improving our Cameroonian customer service to an advantage now that we are lucky to have international consumers. But we are just following the reference we have in Cameroon. The whole country is poor when it comes to customer service. But we are working hard to ameliorate our customer service. For once, we have an office in Boya. Even within the strap, we have it there. We have a secretariat there. And people who want to find out information necessarily can pass through that office. From the beginning, it was very difficult to even get funds to create that office. But our direct line today is the Boya office, which, of course, we have a beautiful customer service at that office.
Thank you. Omar, did you get any questions coming in for Allen before we move over to Harry?
Yeah, I've got one question for Alenne. Our audience really wants Alenne to sell the industry to them. So I've got one question for you, Alenne.
Yes.
Do you have any problems with the work you've done so far, with the movies you've released so far? Do you have any problems, any major problems with piracy? And if you do, obviously, I think that affects your revenue, the revenue you get from your films. Do people just download your films for free without paying for them? Do you have that problem of piracy?
Let me be able to explain some few things to you. You may not buy it, but Alenne Menget in particular, I think we are in the stage that my own personal work in the comedies, I encourage a lot of pirates to pirate them. We are the primary level where we want to sell faces. I'll tell you the trick that Nigerians did in making themselves popular and how the musicians grow. They grow simply by the pirates build them. Once you build, then now you start knocking piracy. Piracy is against the law, but we are not even there to have faces. Now, the first Cameroonian musicians, how did they become international? The pirates in Cameroon took the biggest Nigerian musicians and mixed their songs in between them, and like Cameroonians, that these are Nigerians, and Cameroonians started liking them because Cameroonians don't like Cameroonians. And so they danced and thought they were Nigerians, and they became stars. Okay, they were stars. So pirate us. Like that we're Nigerians and pirate us. It wasn't between Nigerian movies, now that I hate Cameroonians. Then we will become stars who lock the doors for piracy. We don't even have the money. So why do you want to stop piracy? It's my idea. Why do you want to stop it? Pirate us. The Cameroonians who loved Cameroonian music stars thought they were Nigerians because their songs were immediately played after P Square. Immediately they discovered if you go direct and say you're a Cameroonian, it is difficult, except you have traveled abroad. That's another, oh, he's from America, then you are better. He's from London. They have not even come there to see how you people suffer sometimes. Because he's from America, they think that you're, it's gone. They don't even know what you people are going through. So, piracy, that is why you see I take sometimes, I try to pass through the shorter route. When the movies I'm not doing, I bring out short 3-minute skits, where I put it in media and even Nigerians put it on their website so that I build that popularity to sell my brand. So to me, please, for the short ones, if we are not shooting, actors and actresses, take time, do a 3-minute film, a 7-minute film, give it free. Then our major films now, we stop there and close the piracy door. But for those short, small films that you do, make the world get it for free. Let everybody download. Let our faces be popular. Then once you build the popular faces, those important films that the ones you have named there, we lock the piracy gate. But to me, piracy made us great.
Okay, thank you.
So thank you, Allen. Now, Treize, we also have questions for you from the audience. Kanya Kwai asks, I have one question for 1314. Bro, which Cameroonian movie initiative have you supported by buying, promoting, or social media, or by any other means?
Good question.
Okay, thank you for that. Before I answer that question, I really have to disagree on this notion of pirating. There are other ways to showcase.
No. Answer the question.
This is my time allotted to me. I will answer the question. You cannot box me on how I have to answer.
All right. Let me clarify something. Okay. You cannot make a rebuttal because you cannot make a rebuttal as far as piracy is concerned. He has told you how he wants his marketing to be done. And at this stage,
I can rebuttal.
It's not open to rebuttal. It's not open to a debate. That's what he wants to see.
Excuse me, Treize. This part of the debate is not about you using this part of the debate is about education. It's about educating our audience.
Okay, so we're done. We're done on the debate part. Okay.
Exactly.
So what initiative have I supported? How did this debate come about? When they released the trailer, the red carpet event for A Man for the Weekend, it was released on social media. I got the opportunity to see it. It was released, I think, in Douala, and I knew I was not going to fly into Douala to go watch that. So I waited for 6 months, and 6 months turned into a year, and a year turned into a year and a half, and I was still not able to watch that, and it felt a lot of frustrations. Like Alenne said earlier, that we have frustrations because we want to watch these movies. So I started to do research. I'm like, where can I watch? I started a whole debate on social media. People came, people attacked me, people supported my position, and then some people within the conversation said, you know what, you can go to this platform and watch a Cameroonian movie. The first one that was given to me was cneworld.net, I think .com. Like I said, on that platform, I was able to, it was $10. I was able to watch Victimize and A Kiss of Death. I was upset because it felt like I was buying one movie for $10. Not that I have a problem with, but if I'm buying a movie for $10, I want it to feel like a movie that's worth $10. After that, I was not satisfied because that platform had only 2 movies. So I had to do some more digging. But this is me, the consumer, going out looking for platforms to watch Cameroonian movies. I never went out to look for Netflix. I never went out to look for Hulu. I never went out to look for iRoko. I did not go. Those platforms came to me one way or the other. So my frustrations came also that I was going out looking for my TV, mymovietv.com on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, and I never knew that there's a Cameroonian movie streaming on Facebook. So I have supported, and this debate is part of me supporting because I'm bringing awareness to a vast majority of people that are watching this debate. Now they're going to go back and they're going to go watch Kiss of Death. They're going to go watch Victimize. They're going to go watch all the Alenne's movies that are on my movie TV on Facebook, that Facebook page. And Alenne should be able to share that Facebook page with everybody so everybody can watch those movies. So that is bringing awareness, can be financial, it can also be vocal. And I have done both, and I will continue to do it so that this industry gets the respect that I think is befitting of the industry.
Okay, thank you. The next question to you, Treize, Quatorze, it says, you recently complimented and applauded some movies by a certain Ken Charlie Moneta Ngame, Kiss of Death, I think you already mentioned right now, and even promised watching more. He is of the Cameroon film industry. Isn't this inconsistent on your part that you applaud a movie and promised watching more movies from an industry you claim is non-existent?
That's a beautiful question. And I need to remind whoever, a good question from the audience. Listen, a broken clock can be correct twice, right? The fact that a broken clock, if you look at the time, it might just be the correct time that is there, but the clock is still broken. The fact that you have some movies coming out of an industry does not mean that the structure is in place. And when a structure is not in place, that is why you say the company does not exist. It does not mean it does not provide products. The entire structure is not coherent. It does not start from the basics of creating a product, move to distribution, and then move to release. That's how every movie goes through every industry that is structured. And when you say an industry is stagnated, to be able to determine that there's stagnation in an industry, you have looked at numbers. Earlier when Alenne mentioned, there were numbers that you look at, you realize that there's no growth. So the number, the growth curve is flat. So it doesn't go like an arc. You don't see a growth trend on the industry. So you determine that it's stagnant because there's no growth. So I look at it, he said that they registered since 10 years ago. I look at that 10 years ago to date, apart from awards, the Cameroonians cannot see it. And I don't understand this notion that we don't, he says we should not use the word support. We don't watch, I don't know the word to use to describe what doesn't happen. But I cannot understand that we know more about awards than we know about the movies. I think that is what is confusing. We should know more about a movie and a select few people. In movie awards, the actors and those in the award industry, bloggers, journalists, focus more on the award. The vast majority of people focus on the movie. The biggest customer base who want to watch a movie and have a good time. I don't care if that movie won 200 awards. I just wanted to watch the movie. So it's not backpedaling. It's to applaud a good movie in a chaotic industry. It does not change the fact that the industry is still chaotic. And maybe if we get the industry working better, we will produce better and more movies. Now we have sporadic movies, one movie every year, one movie every 2 years. But maybe we need to make 10, 20, 30 movies every year that are worth watching, that people can talk. I could call you and like, did you watch this movie? And you're like, yeah, it was a good movie. So that's what I'm hoping for this industry. And no, it's not backpedaling or confusing to say a good movie came out of a stagnant or non-existent industry.
Okay, my last question for you. Many in the industry have highlighted that it is typical for you and others to criticize the industry without any reasonable suggestions or recommendations. What would you like to see the Cameroon film industry do for you to think it exists or is progressing?
Like I said, bottom line, they have produced. The stages that are failing right now is distribution and release. He invited us, those in the diaspora, those with the resources to come back home and invest. That's a good initiative. So if you want to be part of this industry, come back and invest in that industry. Look for a part. Not everybody has to be in the acting part. We want to see how we can, like you said, there are three movie theaters. Maybe there need to be more cinema halls in Cameroon. We need to see more distribution, and from distribution we need to see growth. All of these platforms that he has listed, maybe they need, because they are little pieces of platforms. This person has 10 movies, this one has 2, that one has 20s. Maybe all of them need to get together and learn to do a partnership so that they have one platform that helps, because this platform is going to be able to raise money and also help in the production. The ultimate goal is that when you sit in the comfort of your home, either from your phone, your laptop, or your TV, you can stream a Cameroonian movie and watch it. That Nigerians can watch Cameroonian movies, Ghanaians, Americans, Europeans, Germans, everybody, Chinese people, in whatever language. Like we talked about not streaming a movie on Amazon Prime because of the native language of that country. Those are things that once we hear, we start getting to work on it. How do I stream? Like Alenne said, in the next few weeks or months, there's going to be a platform that streams movie to Francophones. Now we are buying a new audience. I want to see that hunger. I want to see that growth. I don't like to see people settle. I like to see people winning every day, every step, and that's my biggest frustration.
Okay, thank you. Omar, do you have any questions for Treize?
Treize, I've got one question for you.
Sure.
Earlier in the debate, Alenne mentioned that people like you in the diaspora should take upon yourselves to, you don't always have to, like you talked about distribution, you don't always have to wait for them to distribute and bring it to your house. Netflix brought it to your house. I don't know how that works. So are you happy to do some distribution for these guys so the industry can grow? You can do that. You have the money to do that.
Okay, so that is a twofer, right? The question can be answered both ways. If I'm interested to get into that market, I'll get into the market and look if distribution is for me, if that's the best bang for my buck. If I want to invest in distribution. I have to determine that. So I could look at, I know there's an absence of distribution, so I can focus in that domain. But also, I have to also see myself. Am I a consumer or am I a business person? I might not have the business equity to get into the distribution business just because I have the finance or I'm in the diaspora. I might just want to be an end consumer, and all I care about is the movie I want to watch. So whoever is the distributor, I could care less about that. That is the other face of it. So you have to look at it both ways from my perspective. One, do I have the intelligence? Do I have the business knowledge to want to get into that industry? Or do I just want to sit on my couch like a couch potato on a beautiful Saturday like today and say, you know what? I want to binge watch all of Alenne's movies. There are 30 or 40 of them. And I start from the first one, maybe in 2002, 2003, and I go down to Saturday and I watch all his movies. And as I'm watching, I'm commenting. So I have to be able to determine where do I fall.
And what I could also help do is look for suitors, people that can have the resources and want to invest. So I'm hoping that this debate, people that also want to go back and invest in distribution. And if it's something that I want to do, definitely I would jump on board and support in the distribution of that.
Okay, thank you, Treize, Quatorze. Dear viewers, we know we are going a little bit above time, but we had some technical issues, that's why. So we'll go now to the crux of the debate. We need solutions. We'll start with Alenne. Alenne, what do you think could be done better to make the Cameroon film industry more robust?
Thank you. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very grateful. I mean, this is exactly the reason I got engaged into this thing. The other one was, I'm very happy. This is why I came here. Let me first start by saying I've not done 30 movies. You made me calculate it. I've done 13 only. Not 30. Yeah, 13. That's 17 less. See, we are a very talented country with so much potential when it gets into movie making. But like in other aspects of our society has decided to be the Thomases, to see a skeleton be fleshed. I am happy that great people like you are watching us here today. A couple of years ago, we were mockery to ourselves. You looked at us as beggars and called, "I want to support you with some dollars." I am happy you could bring us to this such platform until our hands are clean that we can even talk with you people. It means you are now beginning to see something that we are doing. And I think we deserve some accolades. A couple of years ago, talking about being a Cameroonian actor, they look at you and it still happens. And they do that in film. So we're happy that you could also evaluate and bring us into such platforms. That is the beginning. It means there are changes. We of the industry have also built changes. For within the years, we started through extremely mediocre methods, but we have grown because of the push you put us on the wall to become what you now realize in every award, we become the best, which means we are professional. We have done very good movies. The rest of Africa believes in us because these competitions that we win are amongst other African countries, and we keep becoming the first in almost all aspects. So now the problem is in your hands. The problem is in the hands and mentality of the Cameroonians who have decided only to look on our cinema on negativity. You all have accepted that we are good because the rest of Africa has accepted that we are good. So why don't you just take us and let's walk from there? When I say take us, is to complete the ladder. We have done the productions after the auditions. We have done the post-productions. We have made beautiful movies, and we have just the money to carry these movies just to some of these festivals. Thereafter, we have struggled to create our own local TVs. And you very beautiful rich people out there who sit in your comfort on Facebook and want to run a debate on Run or Down, for those of us who go negative. What have you done for this industry? I know lots of talented people out there are far better actors than us, but they were waiting for the day that we will be mature so that they will come to a debate and take on the position. We are even willing to give you these positions if you are willing to drop now and work with us. We still suffer through the aspects of distribution because the world is very big. Why would it not somebody get up today after watching this and say, I will invest in distribution? Let me remind you that Netflix is a business owned by business people who make money out of it. Those business people should be you people. Open your eyes and do this business. We are producers. We are actors. Open your eyes and open your own TV stations. We are not the TV owners. If you believe that these movies are good enough, and if you believe that the Ghanaians and Nigerians and the South Africans after competitions put us as number one, it is time for you to get up and say a positive word if you do not have the money, if you don't have money to put your own satellite in the air. We have tried. We have fixed up the movies. We have opened our own local TVs. We have made local business people here put them on satellite. Some people in London or other places have also helped us to help put this thing so that you watch online. The only important thing we beg and pray is that you be a little bit positive to us. If you don't have anything to say that will help us grow, please, for once, put some money. I'll go back to this thing. Is it normal that in a forum like this, somebody comes on a forum where everybody's watching and he's talking about a certain movie that our friend Sankara has done, and he's talking about a storyline in public? You have a conception of what you think about your own storyline, and I have a conception of what I think about my own storyline. Nobody makes you God over a script. You could build a criticism positively, not the show-out way that Cameroonians use in doing their criticisms. Nollywood movies have been criticized. Hollywood movies are criticized. What do you think is not what I think. What you think is wrong is what could be right for me. Cinema is flat, but because of what we suffer from in the local parlance of Asabism, the people who finally traveled out of Cameroon believe that they have a bigger advantage because they are in future places and they make some others. I know of the great actors there who just believe that they could sit in their comfort zones and build those.
Are you saying people in Cameroon don't criticize you?
Pardon?
Are you saying people in Cameroon don't criticize you?
You're not getting me. I'm saying that there is a way of doing criticism, and I gave you an example that there's a way you would have called your very good friend Sankara, and also like an example, and say, Sankara, don't you think you could boast up on your storyline? But if you come to a media in a soft, young, growing industry, and you tell him that your impression is that his storyline is not good, what if he is so weak and feels discouraged? And what if I think that that storyline is strong enough? We should criticize, but we should not criticize to destroy. We should also criticize by working. There was once I brought a law about criticism in my personal self. If you want to go through the level of negative criticism with me, you try and bring your own work of art, let me see. Don't sit in your comfort writing on negativities. I propose that you, the wonderful writer, should write the next movie for Mr. Sankara so that it should have a strong, positive, stronger line than sit in your place and each time you want to go through there. That is just an aspect of the criticism. But I'm telling you, business people, those of you who want to prove editors, there is still space, and you should fill this space. We have tried our best. The world has seen the best we have tried. We cannot do more than this. All we do is we will keep producing what we can produce, because you don't even know how much stress we go through this production, and we applaud and beg of you, can you now build our own Netflix? You know of Iroko TV. Iroko TV is not owned by the filmmakers. It's owned by business people like you who see value in the sales. Then you now make the sales so that we gain. The other TVs are not owned by filmmakers. They are owned by people who want to distribute it. Remember the Nigerian stories of Iwe Karot? Cut me anytime you want, because I can say this from now till tomorrow.
Yeah, you have to be concluding. You have to be concluding.
Yes. The Nigerian Igbo people who started doing the distributions, not the filmmakers. Later on, when it got to digital, it is Nigerian business people who went and built the Iroko TV. It is not the filmmakers. So I will challenge some of you watching. We have the movies. I can proudly tell you the amount of movies we have, because we of the My Movie TV have bought most of those movies. And I know the amount and I know the quality. Can you also help? But don't try your best. You did the whole of Africa now. Can you take it into the United States? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alenne. Quatorze, can you please tell us, in your own point of view, what you think could be done better to boost up the Cameroon film industry?
All right, so it's a lot of things. We're going to start by restructuring that industry. I don't know if he said the actors are registered with CFI. I don't know if they have employment contract because fortunately for me today, I stumbled on a post from Stephanie Tum, who is also an actress in her own right. And on one of the posts, she was complaining that she's not going to do more work for free, which means that there's a lot of people that are working for free, which means by my understanding of an actress in the industry is most of them are not being paid. They have this thing of being, I've heard actors complain about they import Nigerian actors, celebrity actors, like A Man for the Weekend's main actor is a Nigerian.
and they want to pay, like you said, when you want to pirate, maybe you put a face of somebody, and then underneath that you hide a Cameroonian. I think if you want to build an industry, that industry has to grow on the legs of Cameroonian. So we have to structure the employment aspect of it. That how much is the contractual agreement from the start? So the actor or actress is going into a job knowing how much they're being paid. And it has to be public information. We cannot be paying Nigerians millions and millions of francs CFA, and we're paying our local actors and actresses peanuts. So we're not helping that industry grow. So we have to, and that's why I am focusing on the industry before I get to the distribution or release of the product. The industry has to be running as a well-lubricated machine for it to survive. Right now, it's just individual talent, so you have to be very good at what you're doing to survive in this industry. All in all, the industry as a whole has to be successful. So when you're getting in, we can identify weaknesses and we can identify strengths. So once an actor goes in, and we also need to have a school for actors and actresses, because we need to be able to pass on acting to the next generation. So there's no school for, I don't know, I'm not going to say with certainty, but there are no training institutions that polishes up on speech and acting in Cameroon. So we need that. That is part of the industry, and that's how we grow. Now, coming on distribution, Omar asked me that question. I don't know if Alenne did not hear. Distribution, I cannot. You don't go into business just because you feel like you want to go into business. You have the money to go into business. That's one of the things that just happens in Cameroon. People go into film acting because they feel like, I have a good story to tell. Let me go into film acting. Going into business takes a certain level of expertise. And if you don't have that expertise, then you hire the right amount of expertise. So when you invite everybody to come into a distribution industry, I think it's misleading. We should invite people who have the competence to get into the distribution industry, so that we are not stifling from production to distribution. We need experts that can do the supply chain from when the movie is being acted, is being produced, and then it gets released. Right now, the biggest problem in Cameroon is the releasing part, and that's part of the distribution. And let's get to this criticism stuff. The thing with Cameroonian actors and actresses, I think, is that emotional aspect. They want us to understand how much, and I'm speaking here as a straight up consumer, the guy who sits on his couch with my wife and my daughters to watch a Cameroonian movie. I just want actors in Cameroon and actresses and people in the movie industry to understand that as a consumer, I don't care. I don't care the pain or the suffering or the financial hardship. As a consumer, I don't care. The bottom line of every business is the quality of your product. How you get me that product is none of my business. Like you said, I am not supporting you. I am paying for a service. And as I'm paying for the service, I need that service to be good. And if it's not good, I'm going to say the service is not good. We have this mentality in Africa that if something is not good, I should tell you privately, because if I tell you publicly, I have damaged your brand. I have put you in some kind of shame. But if I tell you privately, you think it's still not going to make any difference. If you're driven by emotions and ego, you're still going to be mad at me for even telling you privately. We should be able to handle public criticism and stop seeing it as it's negativity. I want to destroy the industry. You want this person is bad for the industry. That is not what is needed right now. When I start on my Facebook page, I did not force the distributors, producers, and directors of A Man of the Weekend to say they're doing a red carpet. I did not force them. Neither did I not let them know that they should put a warning on that movie that it will not be released for 2 years. If they have put a warning on there that this movie will not be released for 2 years, guess what? I will not have any expectation. They did not do that, and they posted it on my timeline. So I had only but one question: when can I watch this movie? And when I'm not afforded or answered that simple question, then I have a problem with the entire industry, not just that movie, because I can list you 20 movies that have not good movies. When you look at the trailers, they are good movies that you want to watch, but they have never made the market. That you should.
Can you try to round up, please?
Sure. So it goes, when a movie goes to the movie theater owns the right. after that right comes distribution to everybody that was not able to go to the movies. The movie is just an added luxury. The movie is not a basis to measure that I must go to the movies. It's just an added luxury. After the movies, I want to watch it on the streaming platform. I want to buy it on the DVD. But because I don't want the piracy, I think they should take the whole DVD phase out of it to limit it. So no, we don't hate the industry when we criticize. And no, it was my opinion to say that, and this was a private conversation of the debate, that I don't think, and I said, still go and watch the movie and create your own opinion for yourself. You understand? I said this, and I said I was going to talk about that particular movie from the pre-debate conversation, and I spoke about it. So guess what? I might have just told a lot of people about that movie who otherwise would not have known about it, whether positive or negative. They're going to still decide that I want to go watch this movie. I am not a measure of what is right or what is wrong. I'm just a measure of my own opinion. And I can voice that opinion, and you could take it with a grain of salt and say, yes, I heard you. I can work on this. Or you could tell me, come and write for me, or come and compare. All of that emotional outburst, that is not necessary. So,
all right, Treize. Yeah, that's clear enough, Treize. Thank you.
So thank you very much. We have come to the end of the debate. Alenne, thank you very much for taking up the challenge to do this debate. We know you're an expert in the industry, and your input has been very, very important and vital. 1314, we know you have been a very vocal critic of the Cameroon movie industry. Thank you. Your input was also very important and vital. It's been a very, very educative debate. Omar, thank you very much for co-hosting with me. I just want to ask, Omar, do you have any last remarks before we close the debate?
Yes, just one final thing. We always talk about respect and civility. So it's really great to see that Alenne and Quatorze, they kept it civil, they kept it respectful. Going back to our audience, no form of grandstanding will be tolerated on this platform. I'm talking specifically and particularly to Amber. When I take down our team for someone, I go do that in for a year. We'll not tolerate on the platform. And going forward, that particular guy or whoever he is will be blocked. You have no access to this thing again. If you don't respect people we are watching, we'll block you. We don't need you here. You need to help you in any way, safe. So that's it.
Thank you. Alenne, do you have any last remark? 1 minute, no more.
Yeah, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I'm grateful. I hope the rest of our industry is grateful. There are 13, 14. I'm grateful to talk with you. I'm just asking lots of people to enter the industry. Lots of people have talents out there. We prefer that you bring some of these talents into the industry, because I don't know why lots of people are so scared, as if it's a failed project. You could see some of us are not very failed. So it's an opportunity for you to join, do your own little aspect. If the industry works, it's going to be good for everybody. You realize that that particular industry is feeding millions of Nigerians, millions of Indians, millions of Americans. And I just think that if we decide to put our strength and energy together, and those people who think that it could be their own sense of an idea, we will definitely get further. So please, don't you forget, don't only watch, make it work. Thank you.
Thank you, Alenne. Quatorze, do you have any last remarks? 1 minute, please.
Sure. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Omar. Thank you, Bole, for an excellent moderating team. Debating somebody of your caliber is how we value we see the growth as well of this debate platform that you even accepted to be here. Being that you're almost the face, the brand of that industry is something that the big debate needs to celebrate. And it's been an honor that I have to debate, put in a position to debate an elder brother like yourself, and I want to say I'm wishing all the best, and however I can contribute to see this industry go from infancy to maturity, I'm gonna do that.
I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna criticize. I'm gonna fight because I want the best. I'm not a guy that settle. I need it to reflect me, to be something that it's you're proud of, and that's why I criticize it. I criticize only things that I care about. If I don't care about something, I'm not gonna talk about it. It's not gonna worth my time. So if I'm talking about CFI and the Cameroonian movie industry, both francophone, and I watch a beautiful French movie, Le Blanc de Yenga, that was a good movie. And we should be able to join forces with our brothers on the French side and build a robust industry, an industry that is make you, when you're in another country, people are talking about your industry and you're rubbing off your shoulder and you're like, yeah, I'm proud to be a Cameroonian. And that's what I'm looking for. And Alenne invited me, any help that I can make to build this industry, I will be willing to do that.
Okay. Thank you. But
sorry, just quickly, we are going to be putting out a survey sometime before the end of this year. That way our audience can fill out the survey and tell us exactly what they would like us to discuss on the Big Debate platform. They can suggest topics that's personal to them, whichever. Then we can discuss them on the whoever is willing to take on the topic can come here and we have a debate. So look out for the survey.
Yeah, so thank you, Omar, very much. I was just going to talk about that as well. Like Omar said, we will be sending out a survey. So we are not only about doing right, we love criticism. We want to grow. And the only way we can grow is when our audience tells us what they think. Maybe we think we're doing the right thing, but we're actually not doing right by our viewers. So please, find the time to fill this survey form. They will be on the Big Debate page and the Debate Cameroon profile. Take your time, fill them up. We will be extremely grateful. And this is going to be our last debate of this year. We have so much surprises for you next year. Of course, we couldn't end the debate. We had to end the debate with a very important personality. Alenne, thank you very much once more for coming. Next year, we have wonderful surprises. Tune in. January, we have surprise guests for you, prominent guests for you.
Don't get emotional and give it. Don't get emotional and give it up. Just.
We will be talking about the situation in Cameroon. We will be talking about Cameroon movies. We will be talking about religion. We will be talking about soccer. The debate that we missed between our resident woman of God, Elizabeth, and True Lion, we're going to get that next year. So tune in, stay faithful. We thank you very much for all what you've done for us, our viewers. We wish you all and your families a very, very Merry Christmas. All the best for 2019 and see you in January. Thank you. Good night.
Happy New Year.
Alenne, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay.
That's what I see on those countries.